Welcome back,
Welcome back.
dearest reader. This is chapter 12 of
Mhm.
our podcast. Today's episode is all about indie. I can't remember if it's today or yesterday, was bookstore day.
It
Uh,
starts today, but then people now this year are making it a full Friday to Sunday weekend, but the actual day is
is
Saturday.
today. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
the day is today. So for those of you that celebrate, happy Indie Bookstore Day. I personally love indie bookstores. They're my favorite. I love indie authors. I just love indie everything. I don't think people realize the amount of just work that goes into being an indie author. So the
Mhm.
fact of the matter being, hey, let's write a book or let's open up a bookstore or let's do something. It takes a lot of work to do that. So I am
Oh yeah.
thoroughly impressed and proud of all the indie bookstores out there. I have leftover coffee. It's cold now, but I'm still going to finish it. It's just a regular Dunkin' pod, and I decided to make chocolate coffee today just to see what it tastes
Oh.
like. It
Mhm.
actually tastes really good. So it's regular coffee. I just use Hershey chocolate syrup because that's all I
Yeah.
had. I put Irish cream creamer in it.
Oh, that
The
sounds
coffee, it's the coffee mate sweet cream creamer, and in the afternoons I'll top it with cold foam and cinnamon and
oh,
all
I
that. I do not have snackies because I'm not necessarily hungry at the moment, so I do not have snackies, but that is my thing. Tea time, I don't really have anything other than the restaurant that I work at today is their 29th birthday. The like company that owns them, they're turning 29. So they've got a whole full day of stuff planned. They've got like a whole band and everything's happening. That is
nice.
my tea time.
For me, I don't have any snacks. I'm not really hungry. I kind of have a stomach ache, so I'm not eating like breakfast at all today. I just have water because I'm trying to stay hydrated. As for tea, I'm getting that tattoo. I just sent you the picture, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting my tattoo done Monday morning. I'm excited because it's something I've been wanting, but I'm also not nervous. It's more like I'm kind of awkward because I'm gonna be so bored just laying on my stomach. And I'm just trying to figure out there's not really anything I can do to pass time because it's a back tattoo. So I'm
For
just kind of like,
those
what am I gonna do? To stare at the floor? I don't know.
for those of you that don't know, and those of you that don't have tattoos,
Yeah.
spine tattoos hurt.
Hmm.
I don't have one. I'm never going to get one because I'm
No?
a chicken when it comes. I can't do. I
Yeah.
can't sit still for that long, especially for spine and the
Yeah.
pain that I've heard comes from the spine. I can't. And that's why my first one's gonna be on my bicep. That's that's
Yeah.
that's it. Like I'm after that, I'm gonna take a break. We'll see, and that's that. I know y'all haven't seen the picture out there that have that are
I
listening.
put it on the screen.
Guys,
Okay.
this tattoo is absolutely gorgeous.
Because
Send me a picture and I'll see if I can
I'm
like
excited.
stick the yeah, that's terrifying. Cause like my
I'm over here
friend,
like I'm
well
excited.
no,
It's like, no,
it's
I'm scared.
I'm nervous for you for the pain.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm
Like I'm nervous for you to like text me when you're done and say that did not hurt. And I'm gonna be like, Rose, who are you and what have you done with my friend?
to
Because
be
that
honest,
was supposed to hurt.
I actually am not that concerned at all regarding like the pain. I don't know why. I feel like maybe I should be, but I'm just like, it's whatever. Pain happens. Let's move on. Like, I'm so ecstatic. And for today, I'm going to farmers market, which I already told you about. And then I'm also going to volunteer at a bookstore today because there's a book crawl happening. So I will be standing on my feet for 6 hours, stamping people's
Fun.
reading passports and prizes and stuff. I'm excited.
All right. Well, we're talking all things indie today. Where do I even start?
What
I,
about the one we went to in Myrtle Beach?
oh, it's a good one. I don't remember
Yeah,
what it was called though.
I I had the card and I don't have it
Give
anymore.
me a
What
minute. Let me
is
see
it?
if I can.
I think it was something in spines, like in the title. I don't know. So
Okay.
last year for Labor Day, Shreya and I and another one of our friends, we went to Myrtle Beach to kind of just hang out and celebrate for Labor Day weekend. And there was an independent bookstore there, like in the area, and I we don't remember the name of it. Sherry's gonna figure that out. But one thing that stuck out to me was a few things. For this bookstore, it was like half of a bookstore, and then it was also kind of like a winery, not necessarily a coffee shop. Like you could, order drinks and coffee, but they had wine everywhere. They were known for like their wine pairings. And then the bookstore part of the independent bookstore, they also sold thrifted books. So you had the option to either buy a book brand new, like right off the shelf, or if you wanted, you could buy used books that I guess you could say thrifted. And those I think were half off the original price. So I thought it was really cool that this place offered kind of more of an eco-friendly, sustainable option for book buying if that's an option you wanted. And then, of course, it was cool that they had wine as well.
Bookworm and vine is spelled like
Yes.
plant vine.
Yes, that was it.
Next time if we go back, I would love to do like a wine.
Yeah. Like a
Um,
wine painting night or
yeah, there was a party that we were that was there when we were there that did like a wine pairing and book sort of situation.
Ooh.
I was talking to like two of them and they were like, "Oh, we're here with our book club and we're doing like a book and wine pairing night." It was really
Mhm.
cool.
That sounds, we should do something like that.
Yeah.
That does sound
Yeah,
fun.
that would be really cool.
I think we talked to the owners like a lot
Hmm.
before, and they were some of the sweetest people ever.
All the people that walked in there were really
Yes, everyone was so nice at the store.
cool. I think it goes to show like the fact that you can be anybody and you can read. I literally ran into so many people there.
You
It wasn't even.
connect so well through books, like with others. It's so
Yeah.
easy.
I was at the time I was a teacher, right? I was a teacher and I ran into an accountant and we bonded over like a book. Like it was insane to think about the way that a bookstore brings so many people together.
Yes.
And it literally span like if you look it up, like
Mhm.
obviously I gave you guys the name of the store. You look it up, it spans two sites. That's why it's so big because it
Mhm.
spans two spaces. And so I think it was really interesting to see that. It was so cool. I actually have two that I can talk about. The first one is the book outlet or the book warehouse out in
Yes.
Lee.
Easily,
That
yeah.
I wouldn't really consider that a bookstore, nor would I consider it indie, but
Yeah.
a lot of their stuff is still like indie and thrifted books. Like you can go
Mhm.
in and people will walk out with a stack and will only have spent like $5.
I want to go to that so bad.
I want to go before I move, but I don't
Yeah.
know that that's going to happen. I know we tried to plan a day, but it didn't
Mhm.
work out.
Me
And the fact that it's in
too.
Easley and it's like
Yes.
seriously like right in my backyard is insane. Again, wouldn't really call that indie or a bookstore, but a lot of people find thrifted copies of well loved books out there and they only spend, $10-15 for the entire thing. So I would still consider that like a
Yeah.
thrifted secondhand bookstore.
Or at least something to give a little bit of a shout out to. I've been in that area before, so it's not like a stranger to me, but I've never been to the warehouse.
All right, what's your next one?
Okay, so I follow a lot of indie bookstores on Instagram, but there's this one that I have never been to, and it's one of my like dream bookstores to go to. It's called Casita. It's a bookstore in LA. So
Okay.
do a lot of POC and Hispanic representation in the store and the books that they sell, but also because of everything, really going on with ICE for the major blue cities like LA, they've been doing a lot of kind of work to combat that, which I like. But I don't, it's just such a cool bookstore from what I've seen like online. And I do have some like friends that live in LA that will post like their own vlogs going to this bookstore, but they do a lot of charity work. They give back to the community. It's so cool. And I think the main reason why I want to go there and support them is because I feel like it's hard to find Hispanic owned, like specifically for bookstores. I don't know
Mhm.
why. I don't know what it is because you have woman owned, you have black owned, but then I don't really see a lot of representation for like Hispanic
Yeah,
stores, or at least that
it's true.
being kind of the audience. So I just think it's so cool that that exists, and I want to go so bad. And they recently moved locations and expanded, which I think is so cool. I love when you kind of get to grow alongside with the bookstore, like seeing them grow or expand or move locations or need a bigger space. Like, I just think it's so cool when you can kind of see that journey happen. For an example, there was another independent bookstore, the Binderley Collective, and
The yep, I
and
know
they
exactly what you're talking
started
about.
out as a mini bus, and it was called the Smut Bus. And I'm friends with the owner. We follow each other on social media, but she started out as a tiny little bookstore on wheels via the short bus called the Smut Bus. And then, as of maybe 2 or 3 months ago, she just opened up to an actual store and building. And I just think it's so cool to be there when it was just an idea, and then it was a bookstore on wheels. And now she has gained the financial ability, but also the attention from the community to have an actual store. And it's just so cool. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I was talking to her the other day saying it's just cool to see her follow her dreams and then to actually now have a physical store. She still has
Yeah.
a bus, but now she has an actual store. Like, she's a bookstore owner now. And I just think that's so cool.
Now that you've mentioned like Instagram and all of
Yes,
that,
yes.
I have so many more I can share. The next one that I'm gonna give a little bit of a shout out to is
Mhm.
actually in the server that we're both in. Her name is Steph. She's
Mhm.
the one I got Quicksilver and Brimstone from, the special
Oh,
edition.
okay.
I paid maybe $93 for both,
Mhm.
which is relatively
That's on the
actually
cheaper side. Yeah.
yeah. When I say special editions, I mean like sprayed edges and the whole nine. Like, and I got a signed book plate with those.
Oh.
So like it's insane to think about like she is in that server and I can just like message her and be like, hey, do you have a like copy of such and such a book? I forget what her store is called. She's in Nashville. She's in
Mhm.
Tennessee. And she actually also just bought a bigger space for her store.
Ah.
Um, and she posted a video. So, I mean, you're in the server if you want to go check it out. She's super excited and super just amazed by all of it. And she's slowly like moving her inventory. But she, like I said, I've bought 2 books by her. Or from her. I will
Mhm.
definitely go back. She's amazing. She's such an amazing human. So I'm super excited for her to
Mhm.
get that and get it all set up.
Yeah, that's exciting. And it's weird to say this, but as readers or just people in general that like to support independent bookstores, it brings kind of like a proud parent feeling to me. Even if I don't know the owner that well or whatever, it's just like I don't care. I feel very maternal and like I'm proud of you. I just want to take you under my wing and give you like all the golden stars and praise.
Because, well, I don't think people realize it, but like some of these people, that's their only source of income
Yeah,
is
yeah.
this bookstore. They don't do a lot of other things, or they quit their corporate 9 to 5 job making,
Yeah.
God forbid, 95K a year,
Mhm.
and they realize they're throwing it all away for this small dream is now turning into this ginormous dream. They do nothing else. Guys, it's hard running
Yeah.
a business and not having any side income. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out.
I mean, I don't know if I would do it, but I'm like, I kind of want to open my own bookstore.
No, I think
And I
you
think
should.
I mean, I don't know if we have talked about it. Maybe I was talking to someone else,
No,
but
we have,
we
and
have.
I keep telling you we should.
I
I will
think it'd be
join you
so
in that.
fun. I
I
think it'd
honestly will probably keep my 9 to 5, but I can come in and help you.
Yeah. I just think it would be so fun to own a bookstore and the creative aspect of it, the way you can market it, the way you can
Mm-hmm.
book displays, the seasonal things, the the signings, the book events. I just all of that sounds so fun, and I wish I had my own bookstore, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that would ever come to light.
Realistically, maybe we should.
Yeah, I
I
thought about it. I've actually thought about asking you and like having a
like I
conversation.
said, I would keep my 9 to 5 because
Yeah,
teaching and that makes decently good money with what I'm being offered. But I don't mind putting in a little money when I have enough and
maybe
start.
like maybe when I'm in my mid 30s or late 30s, I'll maybe we'll have a bookstore in Michigan or something.
Yeah, yeah, we'll see. I don't know. It's a dream of mine too. It's one that I've kind of decided that I want to do. It's gonna take time is all it is.
I
But
think for me, it's starting to become, I wouldn't say a dream or an idea yet, more of just like a passing thought. But I think it's because bookstores feel so like homey and safe and
hmm
driven, and I want to have my own so that I can create that like for others.
yeah.
Just overall think it's, I don't know, something about that's magical. I think another bookstore that comes to mind, I mean, there's like so many where I'm from. I'm not a Swiftie. I used to
Okay.
be, but not anymore. Now I don't really like her and I don't listen to her music. But when I was a big Swiftie, there was this Taylor Swift themed bookstore located in Charleston. And I actually was able to support them, and they are less than 5 years old. They're really new. I think they're only maybe 2 or 3 years old. But I was able to kind of be along for the ride of them being an idea. And then the owner, made their social media account for the bookstore. And then I was able to see, like, she would post pictures on Instagram of a blank, like, canvas for the bookstore. There was no books, the shelves weren't even constructed yet. And now they're a full blown bookstore. But it's called Sweeter Than Fiction. It's a Taylor Swift themed bookstore, and I would say it is a more romance heavy bookstore, but they do offer all genres.
Wait, I know what bookstore you're talking about.
Really?
Yeah. I think I follow them on Instagram. I didn't know they were Taylor Swift themed
Yeah.
though. You
Yeah,
would never know. Like
I
looking at their stuff, you would never know.
really.
Yeah. I until you said something and you said
Uh-huh.
I would have never known.
Yeah, that's actually how I found out about them because I was like a Taylor Swift like fanatic. And I went there to their bookstore, I think last year, no, 2 years ago for my birthday. And it was so cute because she had, the bookish stickers and the shirts and the totes and the merch, but they were all like cute Taylor Swift lyrics. Or one thing she had that I thought was really creative was for the bookcases, at the top of each bookcase would be kind of like a sign or like a title to let people know what genre this bookcase was focused on. But she used lyrics from Taylor's songs as part of like a description for like
I
each
love that.
genre.
I
So
love
it's just such
that.
a cute store. And it's located right in downtown Charleston. So she does a lot of collabs with other bookstores in that area and other
That's
small
cool.
businesses. It's just such a sweet, cute place. I did really enjoy it.
I'm going to, well, you mentioned Heartbound, so that was going to be my other one. It's the Ripped Bodice in New York.
I
I
didn't
will
know
never
that.
stop talking about this store. I'm so upset that I didn't get to go when I went for my cousin's engagement ceremony, and that's
Yeah.
understandable. Again, but I'm so mad we didn't get to go to the Ripped Bodice because it looks so pretty inside. Like it's
Is it themed?
very, I think if I'm not mistaken, I think it's romance. It may
Okay.
not be, but I've heard a lot of romance authors get their books in there, but it's so pretty. It is so pretty. My goal in life is to go back to New York just to go there.
I
Just
want to go to New York for the 3-story Barnes and Noble.
yes, that too. But I probably won't buy anything from Barnes because I want to support indie stores while I'm
Yeah.
there.
I
So
just want to go in there to be like, I went there. All right, I'll share one last one. There's a bookstore, a romance bookstore that I'm pretty sure I talk about it quite often. It's called Love Spell Bookstore, and they opened up last year in October. So they're almost 1 years old. And they're actually part of a 12 store book crawl happening today. And this is actually the bookstore that I'll be at volunteering tonight. So
Okay.
I'll be there all afternoon and then all evening. But it's called Love Spell Bookstore. It is a romance bookstore. The owner did kind of expand a little. It's more like people would donate books and then she would, have those genres available. But her main focus is romance. I don't know. It's just, I really like that bookstore because it's very community based and community driven. She does a lot of food drives and things like that that give back to the community. And she also hosts writing clubs and obviously book clubs. But then they also do a lot of crafting nights. Like there's one coming up, which is a like bejeweled event where you can like
Oh,
bedazzle your books.
cool. I love that.
I am not going because I don't like sitting still and doing things like that. Does not sound fun to me. But it is cool for others, and I don't know. She's just a really good person. And I actually did have a conversation a few months ago, kind of talking to her about I don't know how we got on the topic, but like immigration. And I found out that she is very anti like Trump and that she supports like the immigration community and the immigrants. But then I also found out that she's an ally. So I just really enjoy knowing that there's stores out there that support communities that I'm in, but also communities that my friends are in. So that's another reason why I will always give them a shout out because I think independent bookstores that are brave enough to say, like, no, and to make it clear that they're a safe space for like the queer community or that they will collect like groceries and food for veterans. I just feel like owners that do that and are very intentional about working and giving back to the community, I feel like they're always worth a shout out because that's a store where it's not just, oh, you go and buy books. Like it's so much more than that. There's so many more
Uh-huh.
layers to it. And I really like that.
We'll kind of tack onto that, and this will be the last comment because, again, we both have things that we need to do,
Yeah.
we need to get to. With what happened in Minnesota years
Mhm.
ago, there were a lot of indie bookstores that came together and raised money for them. You had New York and so many bookstores came
Mhm.
together and donated, whether it be all or a part of their proceedings that came out of that like event or whatever that they
Yeah.
held towards Minnesota. And it's people like that that
Mhm.
help tragedies heal.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying tragedies shouldn't happen, which they shouldn't, but sometimes you need a tragedy to really see indie bookstores and see the fact that indie bookstores are not just bookstores. And
Yeah.
indie bookstores are not corporations. Indie bookstores are people. They're real humans like me, like Rose, like the person listening right now. They donate to people to causes like this, and some people couldn't, and that's okay, but they still support it in other ways. And I'm
Mhm.
not saying, go blow your money on books, go blow your money on it. That's not what I'm saying. If you can, even just a shout out like
Yeah.
me and Rose did, even just a shout out to your favorite indie bookstore today, even just a little shout out to your favorite indie bookstore this weekend.
Mhm.
Say, hey, I love you guys. You guys are amazing. Go support them. We'll do more than you know to the people
Yeah.
that own that place.
Mhm. I feel like they're kind of our own little friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yeah,
That's how
no,
I
they
feel.
are. They are heroes that don't wear capes.
Mhm.
And that brings a whole new light to the term not all heroes wear capes.
I love them. I have such respect for them because to even like have the idea and then to pursue it and follow your dream. But I mean, that's terrifying. That is scary. And they did
It
it.
is.
It's also so nice when they reach out to one another. So,
To
yeah.
say, hey, let's collaborate on an event, or this author is coming to the area. Maybe we can work together to get them in our
Mhm.
stores. Anyway, all right, let's wrap up because we could talk about indie bookstores all day.
Yes.
Well, let's do a last now next. So I actually have several that I'm reading right now.
Ooh.
I actually finished this really cute romance recently. It's a straight romance, so it's
Mhm.
nothing super special, but it's called The Wombat Wingman.
Oh, is it a monster?
Like, no, and that's what people thought too
Okay.
when they heard that. It's a sweet, fluffy contemporary romance. It's centered in Australia. Um,
Ooh.
the author actually writes shifter romances though, Sam Hall. They actually write shifter romances. So like if you want to go check them out. I just posted my review on Instagram, so go check them out. This woman gets engaged at the beginning of the book
Mhm.
and gets left at the altar, right?
Ooh.
He can't say the words I do at the altar. And so she's like, okay, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck this. All the honeymoon money was they were supposed to go to Australia for their honeymoon.
Right.
She said, I'm gonna go because there's a reserve and I work with reserves and I'm gonna go and I'm gonna have the best time of my life. Almost hits a wombat
Oh.
and she realizes the wombat is the sister of her boss that owns this reserve, right? And
Oh.
so that's their meet cute is she
Yeah.
runs over this wombat and she's like, oh my god, I killed this wombat. Her like boss, who she doesn't know is her boss at the time, walks over and he's like, no, this isn't dead, it's just been
Mhm.
hit, we got to rehabilitate it. And
Mhm.
so they get together, and she's plus size too, so she's not, she doesn't fit the like standard woman, which I
Okay.
loved because it gave me confidence too, because I am plus size as well. The fact that he was like commenting on her curves and the fact that
Yeah.
she's like chubby everywhere and it's adorable. I'm like, oh my God, I love it. But yeah, so I finished that one. So that was the last one I read. I don't know if you can see it because it's on my Kindle, but I'm also reading the next book in the Windy City series. It takes place in Chicago, so it centers around like all of like the sports teams in Chicago.
Okay. It's a sports romance then?
Yeah, it's like different. It's different teams. So like the first book was Mile High, and the characters in that, she's a flight attendant. He is a hockey player.
Hmm.
This one is her best friend from book one and her brother. And then I'm still reading this bad boy. Haven't picked it up since I last showed it. So this is kind of for accountability. The last one at the wedding. I will say it took 5 chapters to get into, but now I can't put this book down. The part that I'm at right now, like I said,
Hmm.
I think I know what's going to happen at the end. For those of you that are listening, if you've read The Only One Left and you know the twist at the end, it's kind of like I'm thinking it's kind of like that. Also, comment down below if you've read it because that twist is insane, and I don't know what to think about it. But I'll have to update you and see like when we record next time if I
Yeah.
finished it and what I thought about it. So like it's very intense and it's very tension filled, and I think
Oh,
that's why it took 5 chapters to get into.
yeah. Okay. Do you know what you're gonna read next, or is
I have
that
no idea. Probably a diet of uh, consisting of library books that I've checked out
that's
way
fair?
too many of.
I just finished Only the Small Bones by C.P. Harris. We just talked about it, but it is a MLM romance. I think the author specializes in dark romance. It's a dark romance in terms of one of the lovers being a survivor of sex trafficking. Like, obviously, that's dark. But other than that, there isn't violence, there isn't your typical dark romance plots, your stalking men. Like, none of that is in this book. Other than that, there's really nothing dark about it. So that's why I loosely say that it's a dark romance. But anyway, I just finished it. It's just a really interesting story because it showed very rare sides of typical dynamics from romances. Most romances, for the dom, so to say, most romances portray them as like violently protective or maybe territorial, or they growl, or they push you against the wall. Like they showed that kind of side of a dom, but in this story she actually does the opposite. I think there's maybe 3 scenes at most of the dom actually acting like that. And what she decided to do, or he, I actually don't know who CP Harris is, either way, they wrote the story to show kind of the insecure side of the Dom. This Dom actually has a depression as well as anxiety. And so the author,
Mental health rep.
yeah,
Sorry, I love books that do that.
yes, no, I did
Actually,
too.
I may have someone who might like that one.
Mhm.
And she's in the server. So let me
Okay,
know and I'll tag her. I'll tag
yeah,
both of you. I'll tag her and I'll tag you and I'll say, hey, we just did this. Because she's all about mental health rep. And if it's done well, she'll read it. If it's not, she'll tell you and be like, hey, this was not a book where mental health was done well.
yeah.
But if it's done well, she'll read it and she'll tell you
Mhm.
all about it.
And so I just really enjoyed that the author decided to write a dominant male who was insecure, who had anxiety, who had PTSD, who had, depression. He has to be in therapy. He take pills to try and like monitor his mood. And we don't really see that representation for DOMs within the romance
Nope.
space. And so I just loved the fact that she said, stalking, possessive, bad boy Dom. Nope, we're gonna do a full 180 and he's gonna be different.
Again, well, I'm gonna try and make this short because I've read a lot of it because like
Mm-hmm.
that's my thing. Like the dynamic, the Dom sub, BDSM, all of
Yes.
that is like my thing. A lot of them, and I mean, even in real life, I,
Right, right.
I'm kind of outing myself here. Yes, I love that stuff. People who become Doms want to control what happened to them. It's because
Yes.
they can't control,
Yes.
they couldn't control. So I think the fact that he couldn't control the fact that he couldn't save the
Past.
sub.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he couldn't save the sub and he couldn't save the other people because he works with dealing with the rings and stuff.
Yes.
That is why he became a dom.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That is that because I mean, even take give me more, right?
Mm-hmm.
The sub in that or the even the dom in that
Yes, that's so true.
is this situation where he couldn't control what happened to him, and so
Mm-hmm.
he wanted to take control but he couldn't, and so his way of taking control was the club
Mm-hmm.
and the shibari and the rope play and being the person that does the tying instead of being tied up. Same with
Yeah.
give me more. They usually have stuff that's wrong with them, they
Mm-hmm.
just don't show it, and so that's why I think that book is super interesting. I'm actually going to read it. I'm
Yeah.
also going to read the one I read to you by Catherine Mora or
Okay.
Katharina Mora.
Yes.
That's going to
Yes.
happen too. I just it's going on my long list of books. I'll get to it eventually, I promise.
And then the other side of the story, only the small bones, is that the author wrote the sub like the opposite as the dom, which is another thing in romance, especially for like BDSM based romance that I don't really see a lot of. And so I love that the author decided to make the sub and the dynamic be, territorial. He's possessive. He's also the person that survived trafficking. So he is angry. He also is mute. There is mute representation until the end of this book. He never speaks a single word. And so it's interesting that she wrote someone who is submissive and soft, but she decided, or again, I don't know the pronouns, but they decided to write his name is Ryan in the story. They decided to write Ryan as an angry, person with a lot of baggage. He's hot-headed, he doesn't like anyone. And we don't really see that side either of subs. People normally in the book space would think of them as like friendly, as talkative, social butterfly, maybe they're shy. And so I love that she really kind of wrote the dynamics of the dom and the sub in such an untraditional way. I loved that so much and I want to
Yeah.
see that more, if I'm being
Yeah.
honest. I want to see it more.
You've just given me another book to add to my already just overflowing TBR. It's fine.
And then the current books, I'm still trying to read Hollow. I kind of took a pause because I got distracted with the one I just finished, but I'm going to read more of this today. And
Mm-hmm.
I also started Game Changer by Rachel Reed on
I
audio.
know you told me about it.
And I
I have
love
it on
reading it.
hold as ebook at my library, so I'm super excited to get into
I'm
that.
loving it. They definitely have a different dynamic than Ilya and Shane, and I love it. They're
Scott
just
and Kip are more softer than Ilya and Shane. I think Ilya and Shane are more rugged because of the fact that Ilya comes from Russia and the fact that Russians don't really, I mean, not just Russians, like foreign in general, they don't
Mhm.
talk about the LGBT plus society. And Scott and Kip are my favorite, honestly. I love Ilya and Shane, but Scott and Kip are my favorite. I
Sure.
will forever and always love them for who they are.
They're
They're
so
so cute.
adorable.
Wait. You've watched the show, right?
Yes, I did watch
Does
the show.
does the meet cute happen the same way?
I'm not there yet. I'm only on like chapter.
Okay, never
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah,
You
I'm in the
text me and
beginning.
you text me and tell me if the meet cute happens the same way
Okay.
because that meet cute is absolutely adorable.
Because like in the show, the episode 5 made me cry. Like that whole
That
like
entire show just was
that was so healing. So
it
I'm
was
very
it was that episode 5 was episode 5. I haven't watched it in a while. It was
that's when they publicly came out and kissed each
came
other.
out. Okay, yeah, that one, the cottage.
Hmm.
The cottage made me cry because it was queer joy.
Hmm.
And I may not be part of the community, but goddamn, can I be happy when queer joy happens? And the one where I don't remember if it was an entire episode, but when Ilya's father dies and he has to go back to Russia, and Shane is like, "Where
Oh
did
my
he
God,
go?" And
yes.
he doesn't tell Shane that he went to Russia, but the fact that like he gets a phone that Shane gets a phone call from Ilya and that whole like I don't even want to call it phone sex because I don't even know if that's what it was, but like the banter between the two of
Yeah.
them and the fact that they become softer and
Hmm.
he realizes okay, also the fact that he said I love you in Russian, that whole like monologue where he like talk you remember what I'm talking about?
Yes.
The one where he like talks about the fact that he's like I don't remember the whole gist of it because, like I said, it's been a while since I've watched
Yeah.
it. It may be due for a
I'm
rewatch,
actually thinking about watching it tonight.
and that he can't go back to Russia because if he goes back to Russia, he's probably going to get killed, and he can't be here because he's not out, and all of this other stuff. And then
Yeah.
I love you in Russian. I don't know what I love you in Russian is, but goddamn, that was adorable. I am 100% going to rewatch it. It's going to
Yeah.
happen, and I'm
Yeah.
going to cry.
Yeah.
It's fine. By the way, this was a show that like me, Justin, I call him my best friend because we hang out all the time. My best friend and then my other and his cousin and I hang out more than he and I do. That's because he
Hmm.
works all the time. Me, Alina, and Justin, we would literally get together every single week as it was coming out and watch them. The only
That's
time we didn't
fun.
get together was when I was home, I think, for either Thanksgiving or Christmas. That was
Okay.
the only time we didn't get together because we were
Yeah.
all in different places all at the same Thanksgiving.
Hmm.
Thanksgiving was because Thanksgiving, the week before that was when I lost my job. So, yes, Thanksgiving. That's the only time we didn't get together because Thanksgiving and we were all in different places. But then we came back the next week and we watched them both at the same time.
Yeah. It's just such a
I
cute
know.
game.
I'm excited.
So yes, I am listening to Game Changer on the audiobook. I'm only on like chapter 8, maybe chapter 10. So I'm still in the very beginning of Kip's and Scott's like relationship. But so far, I love it. It is a very different dynamic than Heat of Rivalry. For one, they're both out. One is a little bit on the reserve side, but they both like know that they like men.
I think they're softer.
Yeah, well, I don't know if softer would be the words I would use. I think they're more connected because for they're not rivals and there's also not like nationality. Um,
Differences.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I think they're more kind of relatable to one another.
Mm-hmm.
Grew up in the same state and everything. For my next book, what I would read next, I actually have no idea. Probably one of my gothic horrors because I did just buy a couple. So I probably would maybe read one of those. Yes.
last little tidbit, and then I promise we'll wrap up. Did you see the? Are you a Baldur's Gate fan?
No, I'm not. I mean, I've played it, but I'm not like in the fandom that much, like that well.
Did you see that T. Kingfisher is writing a Baldur's Gate story?
I did not. I actually just finished one of their books, Wolfworm.
I finished one too. I can't remember the name of the book.
That's interesting though.
Um, yeah, I'm not too keen on reading it.
Yeah, I wouldn't read
Just
it.
well, no, but the reason is not what you think. I love T. Kingfisher and I want to read
Uh-huh.
more of them, but the fact that they are writing a Baldur's Gate story
Mhm.
kind of surprises me because you know T. Kingfisher
Yeah, yeah.
and you've read T. Kingfisher and I've also read T. Kingfisher. So the genre doesn't sit well with me. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that they're writing this because
Yeah.
it's something different, but it's no like if any of you have freaking played Baldur's Gate, it's very like semi cozy as from what I've seen, like
Mhm.
semi cozy fantasy. I don't. There's
It's
no
definitely a fantasy kind of genre, not like horror.
horror. So I'm
That's
wondering how that's gonna. I mean, hey, good for them. Like again, I'm so proud of them, but I don't know how it's gonna turn out, and I'm kind of scared.
it'll be interesting. I mean, I probably wouldn't read it because I don't know, that's just not my current mood for my mood
I
reading.
probably won't read it either, but because it's Baldur's Gate and T. Kingfisher put together.
I
Like
think,
I love T. Kingfisher. I love that what they've written, but I don't know that I would pick this up because I'm scared.
yeah, I mean, I think the only way I would read it is if I had friends peer pressure me into reading
Yeah.
it or like
It's
say that
like
it's really
it's
good.
like people picking up Bride and Mate and going, Allie Hazelwood is not a great writer because that was her first adventurous side into fantasy.
Hmm.
Like Bride and Mate were her, and I think there's one more, um, were her literal debuts into fantasy.
Yeah.
She's a
So,
contemporary writer. So I don't know. I'm excited to see how it comes out, but I don't know that I would buy it.
yeah. I basically feel the same way. But little side note, since we're talking about authors who are writing something that is a kind of a new genre, so to say. So I found out some news. Are you a Avatar: The Last Airbender fan? Is
Yeah,
that an
well,
anime that you watch?
I'm an Atla fan. Yeah, like the Aang and the Appa. I
Okay.
love them.
Okay. I
I
was
grew
asking
up with them.
because, I mean, as you probably know, maybe, I don't know, the movie got leaked.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not excited for that because I'm very
So,
scared of how they're gonna do it.
so because the movie got leaked, all of a sudden that franchise is like now super popular again because of the movie leak, which I have not watched the movie that was leaked. I won't. I don't think that's respectful. I watched the edits though. I'm not gonna lie. People make edits. I will watch that. I am guilty.
I don't
Anyway,
know that it's gonna turn out the right way.
I
I
think
don't even know that they're gonna release it now that it's been leaked.
I know, and don't say that because I want to watch it, but I'm holding out that they will. I'm holding out that maybe they realize the fandom respects them and loves them, even if it was linked or leaked. I'm hoping that they would still release it and then we would like go and like through the subscription because I think it's through um
Also, other news that when you get done with your news,
yeah,
I have more
okay.
movie news as well, and I'm very
Okay.
excited.
But the reason why I'm talking about all of this is because I found out I think her name is it Sang I'm not sure. The author who wrote Alchemize, which is
Uh-huh.
like technically supposed to be like a fanfic of Manacled,
Yeah.
I found out that because thank you TikTok, she has a completed fan fiction, you know, kind of like her Manacled one many years
I
past
I I
of,
I I
of,
figured. I figured because like
of
I would.
I think it's uh I think it's a fan fiction of Sokka and Crap, what's his name? What's his name? What's the fire guy name? I know his name. I can't think of it. What's his name?
Oh.
What is
I he is down the frick of my tip of my tongue.
It's
I
Soka
know
and
him.
what's his name? Oh my God. I have a
Please hold, guys. We're gonna look this up because I love him.
I
And if
don't
you
know
tell
how
me right
what's
now
his
that
name?
there's a completed fan fiction of the two of them, I'm gonna scream.
By her. By her. People found out that she wrote fan fiction of what's his name? It.
I know it starts with this with that with a C.
I'm like so angry that I don't know it because I also think he's hot. How can I forget his name?
Zoro.
Zoro, yes. So
Zoro.
she wrote a fan fiction of Zoro and Sokka, and people found
Yes.
out. So now
Yes.
people are holding out hope that she might release a published book.
Yes. Yes.
And
Yes. Yes. Yes.
honestly,
Yes.
I know there's a lot of heavy feelings about published fan fiction, but I'm throwing myself under the bus. I would read it. I would read it.
Last piece of movie news. I know you don't listen to Epic, and I think you should because it's all
Okay.
about. I mean, have you read the Odyssey? Do you know anything about the Odyssey?
I love the Odyssey. Actually,
Okay,
that
so Jay, I can't pronounce his
yeah,
last
they're coming out with the movie, right? I
name. I'm
know.
so excited.
There's actually so many good movies coming out that
I'm
I
so
love.
damn excited. You have no idea. This man literally wrote this entire musical from scratch.
Oh my God.
I literally listened to it as they were releasing sagas. This man is an absolute legend. He deserves
Mhm.
everything. I know we're talking indie. This man is an indie songwriter. Also, if you're a fan of Epic, guys, the movie is coming out. It has been confirmed. One.
Okay.
Two, he is also writing another musical called Ilium based on the Iliad. So I'm very excited about that too.
Ooh, that one has me intrigued.
He's posted like demos from on TikTok. Go watch
Mhm.
them. They're amazing.
I might just do that.
Also, go freaking stream everywhere the musical, please and thank you.
I'm not a musical person, but maybe I will.
I
Maybe.
need someone to like geek out with about this
Yeah.
because Penelope's voice is beautiful.
Mhm.
That last saga makes me cry every single time I fucking listen to it. I
Yeah.
cry in the car, Rose. I'm so proud of him, and I will sit there for the whole 3 hours, and I will watch that whole damn movie. I will pay $12 to. I will give my money to just to go see this movie. All right. Anyway, sorry, we both have to go. We've
Yes.
already gapped a lot about different things. So, Rose, do you want to lead them
Yeah.
out?
As always, keep being educated, reading good books. Also, reading new books, new genres that you wouldn't typically read. I highly recommend doing that. But above all, stay weird. Bye.
Bye, y'all.